Hello and welcome back. If you're already following the podcast, thank you. I genuinely don't know why you keep coming back, but I respect the commitment. If you're not following, well, this is a very strange episode to start with, isn't it? Follow if you want, or don't. Either way, you're here, and that feels binding. You can't escape now. That's how the internet works. Once you enter my thoughts, you are sort of trapped. And, well, I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't hate everyone. Individually, probably fine. Collectively, humans are a fire hazard. This week really reinforced that for me because one of my YouTube shorts went viral. Exciting, validating, terrifying, because the internet is basically a room full of people who haven't been told how to behave. And I just opened the door. It's like yelling to a crowd, "Hi, come in, make yourself comfortable. By the way, please tell me what's wrong with my face." And it isn't tomatoes being thrown, it's opinions. Opinions that somehow feel sharper than knives because they're typed by strangers who have convinced themselves that they're warriors of justice, when in reality, they just watched a 7-second clip of me blinking and decided that was offensive enough to launch a campaign. So let's get into the trolls on the internet, okay? Oh, the trolls. Because honestly, I didn't realise how many unemployed comedians had Wi-Fi. Truly impressive. And don't get me wrong, trolls aren't mean, they're creative. They're relentlessly committed to misunderstanding you. You post a 7-second clip of yourself breathing and someone comments, "This is why society is collapsing." Mate, you watched it twice. You are part of the collapse. The confidence is remarkable. No hesitation, raw, unfiltered belief that their opinion needed to exist. Kids versus adults is hilarious. Adults will say something like, "Not really my cup of tea." But kids will go straight in for you. "You look like you smell of hot dog water." Not criticism, poetry. Some of them type essays, paragraphs, carefully structured arguments about nothing that matters. They don't even like your content. They're just practicing human destruction. And they genuinely think they're hurting you. They're not. They're validating a lifelong belief I've had. This is why instructions come with shampoo. And their effort. Oh, their effort. Posting at 2 a.m, checking grammar, replying to replies, creating narratives around a 7-second clip. It's terrifyingly impressive. Almost admirable, in a please don't murder me kind of way. Some of it is fascinating, because trolling is basically amateur human theatre. They're improvising around your life like you're a stage prop, and you didn't audition, you just existed. Let's be honest for a second. Trolls are basically free marketing. Not intentionally, obviously. They don't have your brand in mind, they don't care about engagement or your analytics, but they do create engagement. Every time someone types, "You look like hot dog water" or "log off forever," they're boosting your algorithm, keeping your videos alive, making sure it shows up in feeds you didn't even know existed. They're basically unpaid interns of virtuality, the chaos agents, the keyboard warrior marketers who don't get a paycheck but somehow get more eyes on your content than a £5,000 ad campaign. And here's the beauty, they think they're hurting you. That's a genius. They're convinced their effort is an attack. Meanwhile, every keystroke is another signal to the algorithm. This content is controversial. Display it everywhere. They type essays in rage and frustration and the platform goes, "Oh, that's a lot of activity. People must care. Let's make this go viral." They are the human equivalent of a chain reaction. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to coordinate them. They advertise for you better than most marketing teams. And they do it while thinking you're the enemy. Brilliant, isn't it? And let's just imagine for a second if trolls existed in real life. Imagine walking down the street and every time you pass someone, they shout all the things trolls say online. "You look like you smell of hot dog water." "Log off forever." "Why does she talk like that?" People would look at you like you had 3 heads, and the police would probably get involved. It just wouldn't happen. In real life, humans have social norms. Online, social norms are optional. That's why trolls are so effective as free marketing. They're doing something completely illegal in the physical world, But online, it's just legal. It's systematically rewarded. So the next time someone tells you to ignore the trolls, remember they're the ultimate paradox. They hate you, but they make you famous. They insult you, but they grow your platform. They try to hurt your feelings, but they're running free ad campaigns in your name. And honestly, if that's not capitalism in the purest, most absorbed form, I don't know what is. Let's get serious for a second. Trolls comment because they felt seen, confused, threatened, attracted, embarrassed, inferior, and instead of sitting with that feeling, they externalise. They go, "This feeling is unbearable, let me put it on you." That's why their comments are rarely about what you actually said. They're about your voice, your face, your tone, or your existence. Here's a fun one. Keyboard courage. Remove eye contact, immediate feedback, and social consequences. Suddenly, perfectly normal people act like angry toddlers with Wi-Fi. Confidence is often fake. Studies show insecure people express extreme certainty, while quiet people think. Insecure people announce. They escalate because negative attention is still attention. That comment could have been the most interaction they've had all day. You posted once, went for tea, they've rearranged their afternoon around you. You were the mirror. They didn't like the angle. Once you realise that, the comments stop feeling personal. They're mechanical. Another unsupervised emotion. And yes, humans are wired to seek social validation. Even negative attention counts. Trolls, they need witnesses. They need proof they exist outside their own head. Some trolls take it further, replying to replies, arguing, building narratives around a 7-second clip. That's dedication. It's sad, but it's impressive. Performance art in someone else's life. They escalate because they need relevance. It's not about you, it's about them proving they exist. And then I obviously get the classic comment, you know the one, "I thought that was a man." Now, clarification. I am a woman. But here's the thing. I'm not offended by the man part. No. I'm offended by the confidence, because that wasn't curiosity, that was confusion. I'm more offended at the fact she put that, not the fact that she didn't know if I was a man or a woman. Because listen, I'm a masked lesbian. I'm not new to this. I've been confusing strangers since I was 18. I've walked through airports triggering internal gender debates in people I've never met. That's fine. That's branding. But what got me was the lack of follow-up. Not, "Oh, my bad." Not, "Didn't realise." Just silence. Like she had just announced the time. Like it was neutral information the group needed to hear. And the comment came from someone called Sarah. And listen, I don't want to profile, but Sarah clearly hadn't seen the day of light in a long time. This was an indoor woman, emotionally and physically. No vitamin D, just vibes and unresolved opinions. And I loved that confusion is what forced words out of her fingers. Not the joke, not the content, just, "I need this stranger to know I misgendered them in my head." Why, Sarah? What was the goal? Closure? Power? Something to do before another beige afternoon? And this is why my antisocial tendencies feel extremely justified, because people don't just have thoughts anymore, they release them, unfiltered, untested, untreated, no internal editor asking, "Is this helpful? Is this necessary? Should I maybe lie down instead?" Nope, straight to the publish. And the funniest part, she thought I was embarrassed. Look, Sarah, I'm a masked lesbian on the internet. I made peace with being confusing years ago. You, however, guessed wrong, learnt nothing, and still hit send. That's not confidence, that's lack of supervision. And I'm not antisocial, I'm selective, and the selection process is working. Honestly, trolls are just fans who don't know they're fans yet. They're emotionally invested. They're checking back. They're replying to other commenters like they're on payroll. That's not hate, that's community. And weirdly, it's reassuring. Because if this is what's out there, the confidence, the hot dog water insults, the Sarahs typing in the dark, then I'm actually doing great. I don't hate people because I'm broken. I hate people because I've met them, and I still show up, I still post, I still talk, just from a safe distance, with a mute button, which honestly should exist in real life. Because the internet didn't make people worse, it just removed the pause. That moment where you used to think, should I say this? Now, it just has fingers. And I think part of why people are uncomfortable with antisocial people, especially women, especially masked women, is because we're not performing softness for them. We're not soothing the room. We're not apologising for our presence. We're not over-explaining. And that reads as threatening. And I think about Sarah sometimes. Indoor Sarah, typing in the dark. I don't feel mad at her. I feel relieved she's over there, because that's the thing no one says out loud. Distance is not cruelty, it's maintenance. I don't owe everyone access to me. I don't owe everyone context. I don't owe anyone reassurance just because they misunderstood me. Sometimes people misunderstand you, and that's the end of the story. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to clarify. You don't have to shrink, soften, or justify your existence. You can just exist incorrectly in someone else's head, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, I'll keep posting, I'll keep talking, I'll keep letting trolls swarm in like raccoons with opinions, but I'll also keep logging off. So thanks for listening, genuinely. I'll see you next week for more thoughts that probably should have stayed inside, but didn't. Until then, be selective, log off when you can, and if you think something quietly, you don't have to tell me. Alright? See you next time.